Hi. Okay. So I was recording on my phone, but I recorded two videos and my phone only records up to 5 minutes at a time, and I wanted to get all of this in there. My second video was 2 minutes long. So I don't know if I should redo the whole thing or if I should just go from where I was before. This is the third part of my suicide attempt video, and I just wanted to make it because I feel like I'm at a place in my life. I'm just going to repeat what I said before. I just feel like I'm in a place in my life where I can share this and hopefully it will help someone else. My name is Megan. I have no followers on my YouTube right now, and I don't know how to make it discoverable, so I'm trying to figure this shit out. But yeah, as I was saying, so I'm just gonna repeat some of it because I don't know if anyone's listened to the first part or not. Sorry, the video quality is really really bad. But so I stabbed myself in the chest on 9/11 of 2017, and I missed. The doctor told me that I missed my heart by half an inch. So that was pretty crazy. And after it happened, I felt my lung deflate, and my family came running in after I was holding my heart and bleeding out, and I felt my soul leaving my body. And for me, basically after this happened, this situation threw me into consciousness, which was really interesting because I I had gotten a lot of signs from the universe. Every time I would have a thought, something around me, a plane would go overhead or a bird would fly by. And that might sound crazy to someone who's, I guess, unconscious or not yet awakened to the reality of the world and the universe, which I think the majority or a lot of people are in a state of waking up and ascending into higher consciousness and their higher, embodying their highest self. But for me, I was unconscious all of my life until the situation happened, and it woke me up. I mean, it was really really crazy because after trying to kill myself, it changed the way that I look at everything, that I look at life, that I look at other people. It showed me on an inner level that I really have no idea what anyone else has been through, because nobody coming up to me is ever going to know that, hey, this girl tried to, she got to the point in her life where she was just done, where I was actually trying to get back to the person I love. I thought that that's what was going to happen. I can't really explain that part of it. It might sound crazy to someone, but in my heart, I was just trying to go home. I was ready to leave here. I had made peace with the life I had lived. And actually, when I tried to kill myself, I was actually very thankful for the life I had lived. I was I've lived a great life. I've loved. I've been loved. I've sinned. I've done stupid shit. I've hurt other people. I've been hurt. I've had crazy parties. I've had crazy times, crazy adventures, great friendships. I've met a lot of amazing people. And I've felt true love for the first and only time in my life. And I was thankful for that. So after I was in the hospital for 3 weeks, it and I didn't die because I kept thinking, after I got to the hospital, I felt my heart deflate, and so I kept thinking, I'm gonna die. Even actually, when I was in the hospital, at night, one night, I took the bandage off and I actually put my finger through my skin back to my heart, and it was really surreal. This is gonna sound crazy, but I had really wanted to die. I was really ready to leave this world, and I've been through so much pain because I am half and half, and I don't know if anyone knows what that means. They tried to, um, what's that word? I can't remember the word. They tried to when they tell you what's wrong with you, they try to define your problem. They tried to define me with all these problems. I've tried every single medicine in the world, and I was like, you know what? At one point, I was on like 5 or 6 medicines, like, and it was crazy. Like, I was like, none of this shit is fucking helping me because I'm half and half, and they don't have medicine for what I have. So I finally got to the point where after like a year and some months, close to 2 years of taking medicine, trying every single thing, like I even tried like lithium, like I was on like all these um like medicines for like bipolar and all this crazy shit, and I was just like, you know what? I had to sit with myself and I'm like, none of this shit is helping. So many of the medicines that like they put you on for like depression or bipolar or something, first of all, they even tell you like this medicine might make you want to kill yourself more and it might make you more depressed. It's like, and that happened after I was on one of them and I was like, dude, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, I'm not being on any of this medicine because all they're trying to cure me for, which no one will talk about, is the fact that I became conscious and that I'm half and half. So I really don't care if that sounds crazy. That's just what happened to me. So, and I know from personal experience what I am, and I really am fine with putting this out there because before I was really worried, what are people going to think? What are people going to say? And now it's just like, you know what? People always talk. There's always going to be people that talk. There's always going to be people that have things to say about you. And I can't control that, and that's not in my control. Like, everyone's on a different part of their journey, you know, so I don't really take it personally when people talk about me because I'm like, I was at a point where, you know, I used to talk about people in their lives, you know, but I wasn't happy with myself, and that's normally what that equates to. So, anyway, the point is that after I was in the hospital, sorry, I keep getting off track, but it's a lot of stuff, you know. After I was in the hospital for 3 weeks, the first time, that was the first time, um, which I believe and I know in my heart that they put me in the hospital because what I did raised consciousness. It was just what it was doing is waking people up. And so when I was in the hospital for that first 3 week period, I did a lot of stuff, and I've done a lot of stuff since to help try and waken people up and raise consciousness. And I hate how I look right now. Oh, okay, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Not, don't be a mean person. Okay, or just I hate it because I'm just like, oh, ever since all this has happened, I've gained so much weight. But I was basically trying to eat my feelings away, to be honest. Like, um, so anyways, the point is that I was in the hospital for 3 weeks, like I said, like 19 times now. And when I came out of the hospital, like, first of all, it was weird because when you're in a hospital, you don't have like any connection to the outside world. You just get to look outside, but you're not outside. So it had been like 22 or 23 days since I had been and felt like the air, like heard the birds sing, like got to, you know, bask in the sunlight and like feel the wind. And, you know, the first thing that my parents and I did after I left the hospital was we went by a lake and, you know, we just took a few pictures, but just like got to be in nature, which I had been like praying for and, you know, and really missing. Um, well, I hadn't been praying for it because I was kind of hoping that I would die because I was really over living in like third dimensional um, matrix, you know, reality. Because after I tried to kill myself, I was like, this, none of this is real. Reality is an illusion, and I know that there's something so much better beyond this life, and I really, really, really want to go there. Like, I really want to get to like the fifth dimension. I really want to ascend, and so the point is that ever since that's happened, I've been on. It woke me up. Um, it's so different because I'm so used to having like on my phone, I always like record everything, and I'm sorry that I keep like going like from like one like topic to another. I'm really used to like having recording on my phone and being like, oh my god, I have 4 minutes and like 37 seconds to record, so I'm like trying to figure out like what I want to say, and like it's, you know, I'm just like trying to like go through it super fast. But so it's really nice to just like talk and just be able to not have to like, even though this is like shitty quality, it's nice to not have to like rush. So ever since this has happened, which was 2 years ago now, I had been to the hospitals 5 different times. And it's kind of different because every time that I went to a hospital, it was a different one. And I would never go to the same hospital twice. I met a lot of different people who had a lot of different situations going on. I met people who were addicted to cocaine, heroin, really hard drugs, meth. I met people who had tried to kill themselves, who were depressed, who did have bipolar, who did have different mental disorders and all those types of things. And like I listened to a lot of different people with their stories. And every time that I would like get to a place where like I was trying really hard to get to the love of my life or do something, I would end up like doing something that was like raising consciousness and like an ambulance would just show up. Like it was really weird. So the 5th time that I was in the hospital was this past November. And I spent Thanksgiving in there. And then I talked to my therapist after that and she's like, we're gonna try, like let's have your goal be like this year be the year of no hospitalization. Because I kept doing these things because I really, really, really love this guy, and I still do, but it was just putting me in a bad place, and he has not yet contacted me, so I'm just like, okay, like, maybe I should focus on myself, I can't, I can't even really be looking into getting into a relationship if I'm not able to, like, take care of myself, which I'm, if I'm going to the hospital, it's like I'm not taking care of myself. So, anyway, after going to like the hospital the first time and getting out, it was like, wow, dude, this like whole experience just hit me, just like a brick wall. Like this whole awakening, being like connected to higher consciousness, being able to channel, telepathy, a twin flame connection, which I don't know if anyone is like into twin flames or like watches like divine feminine, divine masculine energy reads or reads for the collective conscious energy. Like I don't know if anyone's like really into that, because like whenever I try to talk to anyone in my family about it, they're just like, no. Because what really, really bothered me is when I stabbed myself, like I was going. Like, I was like, woo, I'm on my way out this bitch. Like, and I was fucking happy because I was like, dude, it took so fucking much to put, like, a knife through my heart. The hardest part was actually, like, it was a serrated knife, so when I pulled it back out, like, it kept tugging on the skin, which wasn't the hardest part. The hardest part was getting it through, the skin, which was an intense experience, because after that, it was kind of like, everything that I go through now, I'm just like, dude, I can handle this. Like, I've had a knife in my chest. Like, I'll carry like 15 grocery bags at one time and just be like, whatever. But it completely changed me. But I became like such a conscious person, and I'm like, oh my god, like I'm such a noob. Like, it's really funny because I'm 29 now, which I said in the other video. But I was 27 or 28 when this happened, and now I want to like pause the video and like calculate how many months have went by. Maybe I will do that real fast. Wait, hold up. Okay, so I figured out it was 1 year and 5 months. It'd be 1 year and 5 months and 6 days. So that's like 17 months. That's like almost a year and a half. So this whole situation has been like a huge, like, just consciousness is crazy. It's been fucking crazy. Like, going through the ascension process, like, into higher consciousness and, like, just trying to, like, break through the barriers to get to, like, the 5th dimension and 5th dimensional consciousness and, like, awareness. And, it's been pretty intense. It's been, like, this whole twin flame journey, which is, like, I'm just gonna, like, talk about this because not many people, like, I've put it, like, on my Instagram, and people kind of, like, look at me, like, or, like, they act like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what the fuck is a twin flame? Like, this shit isn't real. But it's, like, if you're a spiritual person on, like, a spiritual, like, I'm just gonna get into it in this video. I did not know what a twin flame was. Like, this guy that I dated, who I really, really am still in love with, but I was an asshole when I dated him, which is actually the whole reason why I'm conscious now, is this guy. Uh, I was an asshole when I dated him because I had dated an asshole, and I was so used to, and it's not an excuse, but I was so used to being cheated on, ignored, talked down to, and I was like, this guy is like super cute, he's super kind, he's like really nice and funny and like really good looking, and like he like knows like all this like interesting stuff, and he's like super like fun to be around, and like I've dated this guy for 4 years who's just like, oh my god, he liked NASCAR, he was like just one of those like basic guys who was just like he just like got with whatever girl like gave him like the look. Like he would lie to me about everything, whatever. But anyway, this other guy that I met, I was like, "Oh my god, like he's so cute and he's like so perfect for me." Like he liked all the things that I liked. It was just very natural. He liked all the music that I liked, and like if I don't know, like to most people, it's like if you know someone, if you meet someone like who likes your taste in music, that's like the most like attractive thing in the world. Like at least to me, because it's like music is everything, and it's kind of weird because like random, but like all of my ex-boyfriends, like what like brought us together was like music, like because my like track of like dating guys was like so random. Like my first boyfriend was like a Mexican dude who played bass in like some rock band. I then like dated this really skinny dude who was like had been my friend through the first like relationship, and then like our relationship ended in court. Like I'm just putting it all out there. My third relationship was like I dated this guy for 4 years, and before I dated him, like I talked to one of my friends, like we went downtown, we were talking about it, and I'm like, there's something about this guy, like my intuition just tells me like there's just something off about him, and I was like really back and forth. I kept on like telling him like I'll date you, then I was like, no, I don't know. He was like super into me at the time too, and then I ended up dating him for 4 years, and he like I like let him like fuck up my life, like for real. Like I lost like all of my friends. Like he cheated on me with a lot of my friends. I had really bad friends who didn't give a shit about me. They were just basically around because like I would like throw parties and like go out and have fun. Like I was just like having in a fun like lifestyle. Um, and then like he cheated me or something with my cousin or like someone in my family. Like it was really, really awkward. Like there was just something that happened with him and someone in my family, and I was like, okay. Um, and it was just a really random situation because when I asked him about it, I was like, I mean, this is basically going on like old shit, but you know, when you just know, like after you date someone for a really long time, like you know them, like you're just like, I know you, you know me. Like I can tell when like I'm talking to someone in general, like if they're fake or if they're real. Like I'm not an idiot. Like my intuition, I pretty much can like read someone very, very well. So, um, after I had asked him, it was like, yeah, you are. And then when I asked her, like she just hung up on me and she like moved out. So I was like, okay, that's great. So I've been through a lot of shit in my life. Anyways, the point is that I dated this guy for like 4 years. He hit me, he like pushed me around, he talked shit to me. I ended up in the back of a cop car because of him because we fought because I was basically I was like, you're talking to this girl. Like, I know that you are. Let me see your phone. And, like, he wouldn't let me see. He called the cops on me. I went to jail because of him. Um, yeah, more than once, he called the cops on me. And, I was just really fucked up in the head after that, you know. Just a note to all the girls out there, a side note, if you're with someone, because a lot of really beautiful women, like, out there, really, and people in general, not even just women, but guys in general, because I will say this because after I dated this guy, I treated this wonderful man really horribly. And it honestly, this is a lot of the reason why I changed in general. I changed because of my suicide attempt. And I also changed because I dated this guy, and it wasn't for very long, it was for 3 months. But he gave me the most love and the most genuine, like unconditional kindness. Like, we would have like random, like little like spats and stuff, but it was like nothing serious. And it was basically because my heart really honestly didn't know how to accept love. But after I dated this guy for 4 years, I treated this guy really shitty, and it was my hugest regret ever since then. I was like, I lost him after that. Um, he still to this day hasn't, kept in contact with me. He has me blocked, and it really has broken my heart in a way that, I can't really explain. Like, I guess this is also a side note, but I've gotten to the point where I've accepted, and I try to make the most of every day. I try to do projects. I could do string art. Like I do scrapbooking. I'm trying to like organize my life and get everything like in order and everything like that. I try to keep myself, in like a positive outlook, and like I try to post things that are like inspiring and stuff for other people. But um, deep down, I'm I'm sad in a way that, yeah, I try to make the most of every day, but it's just like I've lost basically my best friend, and some people you really can't replace. And that has really changed my outlook on life and the way that I treat others and the way that I live my life. So, that was a side note, but I totally forgot what I was talking about. But okay, so I dated this guy for 3 months, and then I really fucked him over because when he and I broke up, like we broke up, I had like pushed him so far away. And I called him one day at work because I would always call him at work and just like bother him. Like I was just like, because deep down, like I'm like, and I was always a really insecure person. And I had just been through, the truth is, I had just been through so much shit at that point in my life where I had been fucked over by so many people, so many friends, my ex boyfriends, people in my family had like fucked me over and lied to my face. It was pretty common for me that when I met him, it was first of all like, there's no way that this guy can like really be about me. Like, I got back from like a vacation with my brother after a weekend, and like he had like written this, like he had like given me this like CD, which like I know all the songs to by heart, but he had written like a paragraph or two about like every song, like why he chose it and like what it means for us. And like when I was reading it, like I read it and then I was like, oh my god, like my heart was like just like out of my chest. Like this is like the sweetest thing that anyone has ever done for me. Like it was literally like, in that moment, it was like, I have been through, at that point in my life, I was thinking, I have been through 10 years of shit relationships with guys that have ended in court, been pushed around, talked down to, cheated on, like, and like all of those people that I knew in that group of friends, like, knew that I had been cheated on, and not one of them told me. So my mentality was like, I couldn't trust anybody, let alone myself. Um, and, damn, I totally forgot what I was saying. But um it just it I really treated him horribly, and I had no idea how to accept love, and excuse me, it just super changed me. So basically we dated for 3 months. I went through a lot of shit. Like I said, I ended up pushing him away with how I was treating him. I would just get in random fights, or I'd like walk away and he would like chase me. He would always chase me, and I call him Hops because he would always hop after me. It was so cute. And he would like now I'm just like, oh my god, like I would literally like I've missed him for so long, and now it's just like at a point where I'm just like, I'm just gonna say it and put it all out there because like hopefully this will help someone else like to like realize to not take people for granted, and like if you're like going through a hard time to like not try to kill yourself. Um that's why I'm making it. But uh like yeah, he would just get to the point like where he would just like follow me to the door. Like I threw like a backpack at him, like I threw a slipper at him, and like he like gave it back to me. He was just like, here you go. And I was just like, oh my god, like why is this guy being so cute? Oh, that's what I was saying. So I got back from this vacation, and he had like made me this like this like cute CD and like all of this like this whole like Word document with it. Like it was super cute. It was like on a computer and I was like looking at the thing and I was like, oh my god, that's so cute. And like I look over at him and he is just like asleep on the bed. I was like, I have no idea like how to like accept this. Like I was just thinking like there's no way that this can be for me. It has to be for like a girl who's prettier, who's not like driving him crazy, who's like thinner, like you know what I mean? Like it's hard as like a girl, like you as a woman, like I think a lot of girls go through a lot of shit, you know. There's a lot of girls that talk shit about other girls. There's a lot of girls that go through horrible relationships and like they don't really talk about it, you know what I mean? Um, or they just try to be really strong. But that shit can really like it can really like break you down, like almost like break your spirit, you know. And yeah, at that time I had no idea how to accept that love. Like I was always in the back of my mind thinking like he must be with another girl. Like there's no way he can be about me. So at the end of like our relationship, like I called him at work one day, like I always did, and I was just like, "Hey, like do you still want to go out?" He was like, "No, not really." He was like over like the relationship. Like I had just like pushed him too far and like so he said no, and I was like, oh my God. And like something about me, like at this time I hadn't like gotten to the point where I had come to terms with it or like been able to verify that this is what it was, but it was like this is where I was at, was like, okay, in my head, I'm like, I've been in a relationship with this one dude for like 4.5 years. We've been on and off dating. I've been cheated on him a billion times. I've basically given like my entire life up for him. Lost people in my family, relationships in my family. Like my whole relationships with like my brother, my sister, my mother and father were like very, very like just like they loved me, so they accepted my relationship to him to a degree, but like everyone was kind of like, why the fuck aren't you breaking up with this guy yet? Like, come on, Meg. I had completely lost myself, and then it was really weird because then I dated this guy for 3 months. I was super happy. I was like, oh my god, like freaking out because I'm just like, he's so perfect for me. And then at the end of it, he didn't want to go out with me anymore. And like, what it basically was that I was thinking, like, I've been dating this guy for 4 years, and it's a 4 year relationship. Like, after you're with someone for 4 fucking years, it's either like, you know, you're either in it to win it, which is like what I was like hoping for at that time. But now I'm really, really happy that I didn't end up with this guy because he was a dick. Like, he was like the biggest asshole I ever met. But I couldn't accept that the guy's name. I don't even know if I should say it because I don't want to put him like out there like that. Like I don't want to say his name because like he doesn't like talk to me and like I just don't want to. I don't know if he would want, like I don't want to disrespect anybody like that. Like saying like, hey, this is his name, you know. So the guy that I really love and who really loved me, he was blah. Oh my god, I keep getting off like cuz I'm emotionally like I'm emotionally attached to this person. So I get like really into my emotions and then I completely like lose like sight of like what I was just talking about. So I'm sorry about that. But um basically what I was saying for the millionth time now, oh my god, is that I was basically at a place where wait, hold on.